Welcome everyone to your Rise Anytime workout today. My name's Nadia and I'm going to be taking you through a full body reformer class today. So just having with you, we are going to use the reformer, one of those boxes, and then if you have available just one single dumbbell for your session today. Pop that dumbbell just off to the side. We'll use that a little bit later on as we come through the class. But setting our springs for where we're going to go. So we're going to be starting off initially with some single arm work. So on the Allegro 2 spring wise, we're going to go yellow as that standard spring choice, blue as your intermediate option. If your springs are a little bit different, standard becomes that quarter spring and then your intermediate becomes your half spring. So setting yourself up with the box nice and tight next to your carriage here. We're going to start just kneeling on that box, taking a really gentle round of cat-cow. So as you breathe in, gently look up. As you exhale, tuck that chin to chest, finding that nice strong flexion across the back. So just allowing your spine here to open up. Allow the neck, the shoulders, give them a gentle roll out if you are feeling any kind of tightness through there. Being really free through this one. Taking another 5, and then we're going to start to move through that left shoulder, moving through that carriage. In 3, making sure here on the box, you're in a nice strong 4-point kneel. In 2, setting yourself up so you're nice and close to the carriage on the box. Left hand comes onto your shoulder block, keeping the right palm nice and soft. Just a really gentle press away from that left side. So we're pressing the carriage out, opening up through the springs, and then bringing it back in. Now initially here, it's not going to feel overly heavy. What you want to start to focus on is really pulling up through that core, making sure we're nice and tight on that box, so we're really strong. We're going to start to add in some stability, so working through that right leg. Next time you press the carriage out with the left arm, kick the right leg long behind. As you bring the carriage in, curl through your spine. Create that nice strong knee tuck, knee to nose. Send everything back out nice and long. Extend through the fingertips, extend through that left shoulder, and then draw it all back in. Working here at a pace that feels comfortable for you. Some of you might find this feels really nice to move at a slower, controlled pace. Others might want to move a little bit quicker right from the start. We're going to stay here for 12, and then we're going to start to add on with that right arm, firing into our tricep. So making it a little bit more dynamic through that upper body. In 6, holding everything long in 5, 4, send everything long, hold. Now you're going to continue to press the carriage up the white rails. Lower the chest to the box, tricep push up right side. Bring it back in, keep the knee tuck coming through to the nose. So send it out long, press the carriage out further, bend the right elbow, lower into your tricep push up, pull it in, curl it in. If you want to make it less flowy through the spine, remove the knee tuck and just tuck in through that neutral position. Press out, finding that nice tight pull through that right tricep, left shoulder. In 10, we're going to hold up and in. So we're more centered. Both arms are going to be nice and straight. We're basically in that 4-point kneel, but we do have just a bit of tension through that carriage. In 4, get one more in here. 3, 2, as you stack up, keep the leg long. Find your balance, just pressing that carriage out and in. When you're ready, we're going to start to wake that left arm up nice and strong. You're going to start to throw and catch the carriage. So you can bring back leg down initially just to get your balance here. And then when you feel like you're up to it, send that back leg nice and long. Take it off the box, work through those obliques, feel the shoulders fire up here. 10 seconds, you've got it. We reset. We're going to stick with that left arm in 5, 4, we reset on the box in 3, 2, bring your carriage in, bring the back knee down, scoop up the short loop here, dropping our right forearm to the box, Left elbow is gonna tuck in nice and tight towards our side body. Now, if you find you prefer the longer loop here, take it. We're gonna drive left arm back into that tricep, relax it back out, press it back, release. You're gonna notice here, one side, especially with the triceps, always a little tighter. So if you're only going back halfway, absolutely fine. Just work in that range that's there for you here. This one's quite strong, looks nice and comfortable, but when you start to move, those springs get nice and heavy. Let's go for 8. We're gonna hold it back in 5. Keep pressing away from the box. 4, 3, hold the left arm back, whatever that looks like for you. Kick your right leg back out, flex the right toes, pulse, little pulses up and down. You're here for 6, keep that breath going. 5, 4, we relax in 3, 2, relax. Keep the strap. We're gonna end up sitting on the box, looking out towards the back edge of your machine. So feet come down on the ground. You've got a hold of that same loop. You're gonna step into your longer loop, like you're popping on a pair of knee-high socks. Bring yourself nice and forwards onto the box so that you can comfortably roll back. So when you're there, get as much of your spine on the box as you can. Cradle your head here with your hands, be nice and supported. Let's move the right leg, toe tap down to the ground, bring it back up. So just the right leg, the one without the strap, melt the toes down, bring it up. If you are feeling a little tight here through the hips, don't go as low, just go for that gentle melt down, halfway, bring it back up. Elbows are out nice and wide, chest is nice and lifted here. Keep that breath going. In 5, we're gonna add on that rotation through those obliques. In 4, left leg, the one with the strap, let's keep it still the whole time. 3, 2, as you lower the right leg, let's bring right elbow up and across to that left knee, bring it back in. Rotate, right elbow, left knee, find that bicycle crunch, reset. You've got it, 10 seconds here. Really driving across. Looks nice and comfortable, but the shakes start to get in here. Everything through those obliques starts to warm up nice and strong. Let's go 5. We're gonna hold in that twist. 4, keeping that torso nice and strong. 3, 2, hold across on your next one, just the right leg. Lowers and lifts. You're here for 8. We're resetting. We're gonna come into those legs from here, firing up nice and strong, that lower body. In 4, 3, 2, take your last one. As you roll yourself up, gently step out of your strap. So taking that away, if you are feeling any tension through that back, take a gentle twist. Then we're gonna come standing on that box with our dumbbell. So scooping up that dumbbell, and then looking at your spring. So your first spring change here. We've got on the Allegro 2s, blue is gonna be your standard for your light legs and core here. Yellow, that intermediate option. So then if your springs are a little bit different, half spring is your standard, and then that quarter spring gives you a little bit more of an intermediate option. Standing up on the box, we're gonna continue facing the back. So looking out to the back of your machine, we're gonna step our left foot onto the carriage. Bring it in nice and tight behind the shoulder block, keeping the right foot connected to the box, back heels lifted. Dumbbell comes into both hands. Let's just hold that at our chest. We're gonna press out into our tippy bird. So start to open up the springs, bend into your left knee, lengthen through the right leg, give yourself a pause, and then bring the carriage all of the way back in. So starting off with our reverse tippy birds, pressing out, bend into that left leg, lengthen through the right, drive it back in. Now that dumbbell, if it ever gets a little bit too much, it's not comfortable for you, just place it off to the side. Everything can be done with the hands, either resting on the hips or anywhere that feels comfortable for you. But if you're adding on, next time you press out, pause, press the dumbbell up and overhead. Get as much height through the dumbbell, as much length through the arms as you can. bring it back in, stand all the way up. So press out nice and slow on these light springs. The slower you go, the more fatigued those glutes are gonna get, the more you're gonna feel it into the back of that left side, which is where we're really targeting for this sequence. Pressing out, drive the dumbbell out, in, squeeze it up. Breathing here. We're gonna stay for another 15, and then we're gonna start to add on. So really starting to build into that left leg. In 8, we're gonna meet, carriage out, springs are nice and lengthened. In 5, hold that tippy bird. 4, 3, press out and hold. Reach the dumbbell overhead. Let's add one single scooter. Keep the weight out. Bend the back knee, close the carriage. Straighten the back knee, press out, stand up, reset, bring everything back in. So we press out into our tippy bird, hold. Reach the dumbbell up and overhead. One reverse scooter. You've got it. Bend that back leg. Pull it in. Press it out. Stand up. Really nice. Keep this going. Everything through that left side is going to start to really fire here. Keeping that control. Keeping that nice, strong connection. Fingertips to the back here when we're in that tippy bird. 10 seconds. We hold out. And we're just gonna work into that scooter. And we're gonna continue moving through that dumbbell, firing into those shoulders. In 5, take one more. Reset for your body. And then we press that carriage all the way out on the next one. Keep the dumbbell in tight to your chest. Hinge forward from the hips. Just that scooter. Bend in, press it out. Be really soft through the left toes on the carriage. Be really open across the collarbones. If you're adding on, press out, press the dumbbell, drive it out. You've got it, bring it in. 10 seconds. Embrace that squeeze through that left side. Let's go 7. We're gonna bring it in, shake it out. 5, 2 more here. 4, 3, last one, press out, get that full length. Drive it back in, step up onto the box, take a little shake, punch out the glute if you need. Keeping your springs as they are, float the dumbbell down. We're gonna drop our knees back onto the box for some plank work. So drop down to your knees and then set yourself up. Right hand on your headrest, left hand on your carriage turned out. Tuck your toes under here on the box. And then press out. Find yourself in a plank position. Let's knee tuck. Bend the knees, come in, straighten the legs, press out. Play around here with your positioning of your hands. If you're a little bit shorter, you might find you need to be closer to the springs. If you're a little bit taller, lengthen up the carriage. See what works for you. Making sure here, shoulders are staying stacked over the palms. 10 seconds, and then we're gonna start to pike, giving the back of the legs that length. In 7, hold that plank. 5, 4, 3, press out on your next one, keep the back of the legs straight, tuck the chin to chest, let's pike, bring it in. Press it out, find that plank. Pike it in, legs are long, heels are up. Press it out, find that plank. You've got it, 10 seconds. Focus on that breath, focus on that drive through the shoulders. Let's go for 8. We're gonna finish this off with a hold. Last layer off the side of our carriage here. Make it strong. 4, meet me out in the plank. In 3, 2, hold in that plank. If you want that last advancement, pulse the carriage up and in. 10 seconds, you've got it. 7, you get that reset. 5, 4, 3, 2, drop the knees, bring the carriage in, sit back, roll the palms, roll the shoulders. We move the box and it comes on our carriage as a long box. So it stays nice and long on that carriage. Changing your springs here. So working into some upper body. 2 spring choices. Allegro 2, you've got blue as your standard, and then intermediate is blue, yellow together. If your machine's a little bit different, half a spring is standard, and then half and quarter together is gonna be your intermediate spring choice. So sitting down on that box, changing over the springs there if you need to. Feet come and tuck just off the side of the box. You're still nice and strong on that carriage. Reach behind, grab a hold of your short loops. So we're gonna slow it down here, really focus on the upper body. Stack your spine up nice and strong, draw your elbows in nice and tight. You're looking out to the foot bar. We're gonna work into those offerings. Extend, lengthen through the fingertips, raise up just a little bit higher than shoulder height, and then let the elbows come back in. Reset when they tap into those side bodies. Extend out, bring it back in. So really find that lift up through the crown of the head. Feel yourself being your tallest point here on that box. 15 seconds. We're gonna press, arms out and hold. Really nice. We're gonna work through a bit of an upper body series. So working through our offerings, coming into our flies, and then finding an overhead press as that finisher. In 8, pressing those fingertips up and out nice and long. In 3, we're gonna come into those reverse flies. In 2, pressing out. Flip the palms to face in towards each other. Let's open the arms out to the side, nice and strong through that reverse fly. Pull it back in. Open the arms out, keeping those fingertips here inside your peripheral vision. So really try and avoid going all the way back where you can't see them. Try and keep yourself nice and tight in front, just driving forwards, bring the fingertips together, open back out. It's almost like you're hugging a big beach ball. That's the sensation that you want to create. In 8, we're gonna press, arms out in front, nice and long. Last movement coming up is gonna be that overhead press in 4, pressing forwards in 3, drive forwards, hinge forward from the hips, look down at your platform, take the elbows wide, and then press up, nice and strong on that press. So take the elbows wide, keep everything nice and locked in through the back, drive it out. The higher you go, a little bit more you're gonna get up into those upper traps, up into those shoulders. So if you are starting to fatigue, maybe stack the spine up and just go out from the shoulders rather than hinging and pressing overhead. Work here at your own pace. 10 seconds, you've got it. We're gonna pulse this one out. This is that last layer. We're gonna come back to some core work. In 5, take the elbows wide. Meet me for a pulse in 3, 2, elbows are wide, little pulses up to the sky, back down. 6 seconds, you've got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, press all the way out. Relax, soften out. Soften the shoulders, place your straps away. And then spring wise. So we want to drop back to more core springs here. So we're going to come into our main plank series. Spring options, we've got 1 half spring, so the blue on the Allegro 2 as your standard, and then 1 yellow, your quarter spring, as your intermediate spring choice. So reach down, change the springs, and then you're going to start kneeling on the box. Palms are going to come forwards. We're going to utilize that foot bar. Pressing out, you want to find yourself in a half plank. So bring your shoulders over your palms. Shins are nice and soft on the box. Let your toes curl over the edge for support. We're gonna press away. Open up the springs, finding that nice long stretch. Pull it back in. So creating that hinge. Away from the foot bar, lengthen out. Feel everything squeeze through the core. You might find here, you're not pressing out as far as you normally would if you are kneeling on the carriage. You're starting that movement a lot further up the white rails, being here up on the box. So you are gonna find that tension, find that shaking point a little bit earlier on in that movement. Now, triceps, back to where we started at the start of class. We wanna keep that going. Next time you bring your carriage in, let's lower down. Tricep push-up, elbows in, chest lowers. Drive it up, take that melt away from the foot bar. Bring it in, 1 push-up. Really focus on getting your elbows in tight, 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 tight. Powerful press, you've got it. Stay here for 10. If you find that the push-up, you start to get a little bit less range, then just work at that pace. Let's go, 10. We're gonna hold out. Nothing crazy, just a hold. In 5, back of the arms should be starting to fire up. 4, 3, 2, last one, press away, hold. Embrace the shakes, embrace that nice strong burn. Let's go for 6. You've got it, you've got that child's pose on the box in 5, 4, 3, 2, bring it in. Knees tuck in, rest the glutes to heels, gently soften all of the way out. From here, we move the box, we're on to our second side. So the box is gonna come over now onto that second side of your machine. Then spring-wise, you may need to change them, you may not, but springs back to right where we started our class. So we had that half spring as the intermediate option, and then the quarter spring, the yellow, as your standard spring choice. Setting up on that box, so we're gonna meet back in that 4-point kneel, right back to where we started off. Palms at the front, melt your knees to the back, let yourself just soften back into a cat-cow. Maybe everything's a little bit more awake, spine's a little bit more softened out. So breathe in, look up, drop the belly. Exhale, find your angry cat. Taking 2 rounds of breath before we come into those carriage movements. In 3, 2, setting yourself up, make sure you're quite close to the carriage side of the box. Left palm stays, and then right hand goes on that shoulder block. From here, just gently press carriage away, bring it back in. So initially, not a huge range of movement. Those springs aren't opening up too much. You're just starting to feel the tension through both shoulders. Left side on the box is gonna fire up, right shoulder's gonna work. When you start to feel like you're comfortable, as you press the carriage away, send your left leg long behind, lengthen out, and then bring it in, knee to nose, curl it in. Use this first movement as a bit of a reset still. Create that flexion through the back, create that softness through the spine. 10 seconds. Then we start to come into those tricep push-ups. That's where we're gonna start to really notice that the back of the arms from everything else that we've done is gonna start to fatigue really quick. So you might find the melt down, the chest to the box isn't as far as it was on that first side. In 5, we're gonna hold, leg long, arm out. 4, 3, hold the leg long, press the arm out. Now you're gonna lower the chest, elbow tucks in, nice and tight, and then bring it up, nice and strong. Drive the knee through to the nose. So press it out, lengthen, lower the chest, drive that elbow in, press it up. Embrace that heat coming through that left tricep. Find that pull through the obliques here. That's what's stabilizing us nice and strong on the box. Right shoulder, nice and worked here. Let's go for 6. We're gonna meet up. You can bring the left knee back to the box initially for those carriage throws. In 5, 4, 3, 2, bring the knee down, press the carriage out and in. When you're ready, throw and catch. Feel that right shoulder fire up. Take your time, one side's always gonna be a little trickier. Sending left leg back, hold it there. Balance here, find that connection through the obliques, find that drive through the right shoulder. Let's go for 8, you've got it. 7, we're resetting. 6, we're changing the springs. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, throw, catch, bring it in. Take a roll of the wrist while you change your springs for those standing legs. So we either had blue, half a spring as your standard, or yellow, quarter of a spring for your intermediate option. Scooping up that dumbbell, meeting me up on the box. So as you come on up to the box, Left foot stays. Take your time, just be mindful. Not a lot of tension on that carriage. Right foot steps forwards. Left heel's nice and lifted off the box. Bring that dumbbell in tight to your chest. Let's tippy bird. Start really slow and controlled. Feel the length. Feel where you get comfortable and then bring it back in. So you're gonna be a little bit more shaky on this side. Everything's gonna start to feel just a little bit different from the first side. So take it as it comes. If the dumbbell's not for you, just place it down. Have your hands where is comfortable. Hinging from the hips, lengthening the left leg, bending into the right. So that strong tippy bird movement. Then add in your dumbbell, press out, hold. Reach the dumbbell up, bring it in, and then stand up. So we're gonna work legs, core, and then we're gonna drop down on this side and you're gonna finish off with that tricep. So we're gonna work a little bit different on the second side, just so that the upper body can get a tiny break. But that dumbbell here is gonna keep you really active. In 15, keep that pace, keep that breath going. Light springs here, it's all about that control. It's all about that strong stability through that leg on the carriage. In 8, we're gonna add single scooter, so reverse scooter. You might find it takes you a little bit just to coordinate it. In 7, press out and hold on that next one. So when you're in that tippy bird, reach the dumbbell up and overhead, keep that. Let's scooter. Bring the carriage in, bend the back knee, press it out, bring the weight back to the chest, stand up. So you melt out into your tippy bird. Press the dumbbell up and overhead, hold the weight out, find your reverse scooter, in, out, bring the carriage in, reset, you've got it. Don't stress if you find you need to keep that dumbbell to the chest. You've always got that option to keep it in tight. Shoulders are definitely gonna be starting to feel tight here. Legs are getting a little more shaky. Obliques are working nice and strong. In 10, we're gonna press out and we finish off finding those scooters. Keep that breath. 4, you've got one more reset and then we finish off super strong through those legs. 3, 2, hold this one out. Maybe the weight's at the chest. Maybe you move the weight into the chest as you come in, out as you press out. Really deepen through that right heel. Embrace that burn through that hamstring. Feel the glute, fire up. You're gonna get a little shaky here. Keep pressing, let's go 6. We're shaking it out, you're on the box in 5, 4, keep pulling in through that core. 3, get one more, you've got it, press out, last one. Drive it out, bring it in. Park, stand on the box. Dumbbell melts down. We drop our knees onto the box. We're gonna work through our core variation. So your springs are set here, keep them as they are. Left palm on your headrest, more towards the shoulder blocks. Right palm turns out and away. Let your toes tuck under in that back corner of the box. Press out. Find your plank, be really strong here. Bend the knees, knee tuck to come in. Knees are almost angling to that left elbow. Press it out. Breathe it in, knee tuck. Drive it out. You've always got here an option. If the wrists aren't feeling super comfortable by the end of class, drop to the forearms. If you're finding that the full plank element just isn't working for you, drop the knees, work from here. You've got that half plank option. You can bend in, press out from there. If not, 6 seconds, then we're back. We've got that pike. Breathe it out. In 5, hold the plank. 4, 3, 2, hold the plank. Let's pike. Chin to chest, hips to the sky, look back at the knees. Press it out. 10 seconds, then that hold. You've got it. 7, meet me in the plank. Maybe the knees need to melt down here. 5, 4, last layout through that core here. On the box, hold it out. Can we work those shoulder extensions? Pulse the carriage out and in. You've got 6. We're resetting. 5. We're gonna finish off that right tricep. 4, 3, 2, drop the knees, bring the carriage in, roll your palms, last layer on the box. So springs float back. You want to go back to either quarter spring, yellow, as your standard, blue, half a spring, as your intermediate. Take your time, everything's a lot more fired up. We're back, 4-point kneeling. Drop though, left forearm across the front of the box. Right hand, short loop, or utilize the longer loop, especially if you are getting really tight. When you're ready, that right arm, we sweep it back past the hip, get that length, glue that elbow in tight, bend, release the forearm, press it back. Really focus here on not sinking through the chest to the box. Press up, be really strong through that left shoulder, but also that right tricep. Some of you might have opted for that extra challenge, left leg, send it back, or just send it back at the end for the pulse. Up to you. Let's go for 10. Keep that breath going. 7. We're gonna press that right arm back. 5, 4, 3, hold that right arm back, nice and long. Flex the left foot, let's pulse. 6 seconds here. Be your strongest self on that box. 5, 4, 3, 2, bring it in. Keep the strap. Last movement, we're on that box. Take a seat, look out to the back of your machine. Longer loop, step into that with your right leg, like you're popping on those knee-high socks. Shimmy forwards on the box, roll it back. Bring the legs up to tabletop. Make sure here, spine's nice and soft on your carriage. Maybe the fingertips at the ears, maybe you cradle your head. Go for what's comfortable for you. Keeping that right leg still, left leg. Lower the toes down to the floor, toe tap, bring it up. Left leg always moves, right leg never moves. Last little bit, everything's gonna be shaky through the hips, through the core, shoulders and neck. Even though it's been controlled, everything's super strong in this class, so breathe it out. Add the rotation when you're ready. Left leg lowers, left elbow drives across to the right knee, bring it in. You've got it, 10 seconds. Squeeze it in. Let's go 5, we're gonna hold. 4, you're in that twist. 3, 2, hold this one, just the leg, down and up, 10 seconds. This is where we finish off. 5, lift that left elbow a little higher for 4, 3, 2, bring it in. Roll it up, step out of your strap, place that loop away, taking a really comfortable seat on the box, interlace the fingers, press the palms away. Just take a seated cat-cow stretch. Let the shoulders really separate here, soften out through there. As the arms go up to the sky, let go. Separate the hands, look up to the sky, and then just using the box, hands come down, pull off the back of your box, just create that tiny bit of extension, open up the chest. You're welcome here to take a figure 4 if you are feeling quite tight through that lower body, or a gentle spine twist. But for now, that completes our full body reformer workout today. Thank you so much for joining me on your Rise Anytime. Once again, my name's Nadia and I will see you soon. Thank you.